you strike me down, I shall become more powerful than you can possibly imagine.
Welcome back, everybody. This is Bulldog yet again with a brand new type of Splinterlands guide. Today we're going to look at our first rule sets guide. We're going to look at Noxious Fumes, what monsters you should use, what type of strategies you should use to take advantage of this rule set. But before we do that, we're going to look at the sponsor for this video, Zen Sports, supporting the channel here. They are revolutionizing the sports betting and esports industry. They are doing big things in Splinterlands as well. So if you use the promo code that's right underneath me right here, you can get up to $500 in sports tokens. That's their custom token. You can save on fees by using that, so you can take home more profits. But what they're doing in Splinterlands right now is this Stash Classic. They've had a bunch of big time events, and they keep upping the ante every single time. This one's going to have over $25,000 worth of crypto prizes. They're setting out to find the top player in Splinterlands regardless of your power. The way they're doing that is they have 4 different qualifiers. The next 3 Monday, there's going to be qualifiers going on at different leagues. You can qualify in bronze, silver, gold, or diamond. And then the way it's going to work is they're going to take the top 32 players for a double elimination tournament on October 16th. And in order to basically even the playing field a little bit, if you're a bronze player and you qualify and you're going up against a Diamond League player, the Diamond League player has to come down to you and play at the bronze level. So that way, regardless of the power, you can compete in whatever league you're best at and see if you can become the top player in Splinterlands and take home some of those huge prizes. But in order to become one of the top players in Splinterlands, what do you have to do? You have to understand all the rule sets. So let's get back here to Noxious Fumes so we can teach you guys some of the strategies that I like to use in order to defeat my opponent at this level. Let's first get in, because you guys seem like you like this strategy a little bit better. Looking at things on the market instead of my little slideshow. So let's look at summoners. That's where we're gonna start out all the time, right? Unfortunately, the best summoners for this are legendary summoners. You don't have to have a legendary summoner. We'll see some examples without it. But the one I like the best is Kitty, and that's because of that heal. Kitty also brings some speed, brings true aim. Those are definitely good. But being able to heal with Noxious Fumes is huge. Because what does Noxious Fumes do? It's going to deal 2 health damage at the end of every round. It goes underneath armor. It's going to deal damage straight to health. It's poison. Everybody's poison is what it is. Simple enough, right? Kitty can heal, can help keep help keep your tank alive longer, and that's definitely a key thing. Since Kitty's good for the heal, Mimosa is good as well, because we have Affliction that's going to stop healing. So for all the same reasons that healing is good for you, it's good to stop healing for your opponent. So that having Mimosa can definitely be good right there. We're gonna actually get myself off the screen so you guys can see this a little bit better as we come down here. Llama's obviously good. You have Cleanse. Cleanse gonna get rid of that poison for your tank. So obviously that's good. You've got the extra health, so everybody can survive 1 turn longer. That 2 health is you're taking 2 health damage at the end of every turn, right? That's 1 extra turn people can survive. And then the last stand, we all know how good that stand is. It's good. It's good anywhere. It's going to be great here. So those are the 3 that I really like. You've got Jotun next. Jotun can be very good as well. You've got that blast damage. Fire tends to be pretty fast. If you can just hit hard, hit fast, defeat your opponent before your health runs out, that can certainly be an effective strategy. Now, I tend to like to go with the strategy of survivability, having somebody that can sustain themselves throughout the battle. And one of the key cards, maybe my favorite card, maybe the MVP of this rule set, is a cube. The cube. Let's get off summoners here, and we're going to go find our cube right here, Gelatinous Cube. Why is this card so good? It's got a pretty good chunk of health. Let's go to its stats here. So it starts off at 8 health. 6 mana. It's got this Scavenger. Scavenger gains 1 max health each time any monster dies. Monsters are going to die off very, very quick. Cube can increase their damage a ton. Cube can absolutely increase damage significantly. Now, it works in bronze, it works in silver, can be a great addition. Right here, when you get to Level 6, which you can use at the gold level, the cube gets a heal, and look, a lot more damage, or a lot more health, plus has a heal. The cube can sometimes just survive indefinitely, and you can win through either fatigue or win through just letting poison out damage your opponent. Now, one thing I mentioned Kitty as a great summoner. Kitty works absolutely great with Cube when you can give Cube a heal at level 1. Works great at bronze level. Kitty plus Cube is absolutely it's an amazing combination. And we can actually go in. Let's kind of I think we've got a battle queued up. That's not our battle. That's health right here. Kitty plus Cube. Let's look at it right away. We'll just kind of let this play, and you're gonna see we've got a decent amount of damage on the other side. These are mostly, the Kitty Cube is just level 1. Those are all level 1s. We've got some higher level up the other side. You can see all that damage up there. Now, did kind of get lucky that that damage is targeting the back. Sometimes it can be a challenge. Where do you put the cube so that it can get that healing, so that it can survive long enough? Sometimes you put it in the back and it gets sneaked to death before it has a chance to heal up or anything like that. Sometimes you put it in the front and it gets hit too hard. But you saw it took a decent amount of damage, and then it just keeps getting that scavenge. So the poison's going to go and kill off everybody else, but not the cube. And the cube could just sit here forever. Look, it's back up to 9 health. You've got the Kitty there that can then heal it back up. And we keep on going. Even we've got Earthquake in here as well. We're doing double damage there with Earthquake and Poison. And the cube stands alone. The cube stands alone. This cube is a great strategy. Any card that can heal is actually a very, very good strategy. So I had this queued up. Let's go back to this one. A card with high health. Remember, when you heal for a third of your health. So cards with high health and that can heal themselves can be very, very good as well. So we'll show this one here. This is going to be silver level. This is a level 2 Cornelius. Gets the heal at level 1. Doesn't have thorns at level 2, which is going to end up being big here. But you see both players kind of going with the strategy of putting a decent healer. So this Sea Monster is going to have a little bit more damage, but Cube is with all that extra heal can be very good. Can heal through the poison. Now I didn't necessarily mention Deep Swimmer as being one of the preferred summoners when it can work. That extra armor actually kind of helped survive a few hits, which was key. But no, we just had the healing. We've got more healing on Cornelius there than on the other side. So sometimes it's simply the card that can heal for the most is the one that can last the longest. So healing is very, very good, especially with the tank heals that can heal themselves. Now having an actual tank, I say tank heal, I'm talking about a self heal. Having a tank heal from someplace else can be good, but remember, unless you've got some way for them to heal themselves too, they're probably going to die off and you're going to lose your heal towards the end. So healing is very, very good. Another really good strategy that we can actually sometimes combine with healing. Let's go to legendary here because we've got a couple of them. Legendary life. Let's look at life. Kralis here. Immunity. Immunity is an amazing strategy with Noxious Fumes because the poison doesn't affect you. It does not affect Kralis at all. So you've got that immunity. So using Kitty Kralis can be a very, very good combination because Kralis has lots of health. Will heal for 4 health every time he's healed. And then look at level 2. When we get to level 2, Kralis gets his own heal. So some of you have seen on stream, I've used Kitty Kralis, and that's been a very, very effective combo. Just alone, we've got 19, 20 mana. Throw Kitty Kralis in there, and just let everybody else die off to poison. And I mentioned Mimosa can be a good summoner because you can block healing. Doesn't work if you have a card with immunity. So another one that can pair very well, especially with Kitty. If we go back here to the market, let's go to neutrals. One that was just in rewards. Almo has decent health, 12 health with immunity. Now he doesn't have a way to heal himself, but look at as we go on, his health ramps up. He can have return fire, magic reflect, that type of thing can be a very effective combo. Let's go in and look at it. I think I've got a battle queued up. Yep, there we go. Here's one queued up. We've got Kralis, not with Kitty, not with one of the legendary summoners I mentioned. So you don't have to have a legendary summoner. They are just very, very helpful. So, and then around these cards. So I like to find cards that can sustain themselves, can last a while, like Cube, like Kralis here. But then you want to try and get as much damage around them as possible to try and defeat some of those damage dealers on the other side before they die off, because sometimes you can have some high damage attackers on the other side and you can't let them survive long enough to take out your tank. So if you have some on your end having things like opportunity or sneak that can maybe take out some of those higher attackers in the back, or even just lower their health enough that they're not going to last as many rounds, but poison will get to them that much sooner, can be big. So here we've got some sneak, we've got some opportunity to take out those damage dealers on the other side. And then let's speed this up just a little bit, and then it's just gonna be Kralis being an awesome tank, being able to heal. Again, we've got Mimosa here. The affliction doesn't affect Kralis because we've got that immunity. The poison doesn't affect Kralis because we've got that immunity. Without that immunity, Kralis would have died a while ago. Would have died a while ago. Instead, is the last one left standing. Can have some decent damage too with the combined 3 damage, 2 melee, 1 magic. So that can be a very good strategy. Going back to attackers real quick. Let's go back to attackers real quick, because there are a couple of attackers that I really like. So let's go to life. If we're gonna be using Kralis, we're gonna be using life here. Let's go to legendary again. Yes, a lot of these are legendary. I happen to be on resurrect. That's actually a very good strategy. I hadn't even thought about talking about. We'll get to that here in a second. But cards like Billa here, especially at level 2. Level 2 has 3 magic attack, and then we've got this life leech. So what that does, it's going to leech health. Half the damage you do, you get back in health. Round it up. So I really like level 2 because you do 3 damage, you're going to heal for 2 health every turn. You're healing for 2 health, the poison is doing 2 damage, you can sustain yourself. You're not going to die off simply due to poison. So we've got Billa as a good one. We've also got another one of my favorite cards that I use all the time, Ancient Lich here. Also, this one's only needs level 1. 3 magic attack, life leech, they can survive. Also has Resurrect up here at level 4, so that'll be a good segue into Resurrect. Resurrect can be very good because when a character is resurrected, they do not have poison. So if they're resurrected, now they're only going to have 1 health. So it's kind of hard, and it can be hard to predict which of your characters is going to die first. So not necessarily, maybe not something you'd build a strategy around, but if you can fit a resurrect or multiple resurrects in there, it can be very good because you can bring your cards back. They won't have that poison. They can then survive longer. Maybe you've got a high damage, maybe you've got a glass cannon that, okay, they've only got a few health. They're going to die off very soon. They're going to die off in the first round because they've got less than 2 health. Bring a resurrect in. You can do that high damage in the first round. They die off the poison early. They come back. Now they don't have poison. They have to actually be hit by an enemy to for somebody to take them out, and that can be a very valuable strategy as well. So there's lots of different strategies here. But for me, the key thing is usually just is trying to stay alive as much as possible. And that's kind of the main goal I'm looking at. I'm looking at having healing, having immunity, getting as much health on board as I can, and forcing my opponent to be able to do as much damage as possible to me before they die off to poison. And it doesn't always work, but that's kind of a strategy that I've had quite a bit of success with. We can go in and watch some other battles. I don't have too many more battles here, but here's one that covers one more thing I want to talk about. One last thing I want to address. We talked about immunity. You can also have cleanse. So cleanse here on Kelp Initiate can be very, very good. So I went with Kitty Cube here. They went with Mimosa. That could have been trouble. Could absolutely have been trouble. But what I've set this up so that Kelp Initiate is going to get the cleanse on our cube. They've got a cube on the other side. They've got a higher level cube on the other side. So it's kind of conflicting strategies. Mimosa on one side, Kitty on the other. They've got a higher level cube, but I'm able to cleanse mine. So that can also be kind of a trick here, is trying to find out how to get your cube cleansed. Because remember, cleanse affects the character in the first spot. Do I want to put cube in the first spot where it might be vulnerable to quick attacks, and it might die off before it has a chance to heal itself up, before it has a chance to get all those scavenges and increase its health? I kind of set some weak cards up front. The good thing about Kelp Initiate is it's also very high health, so it can survive several rounds as well. But now you see here, we've got our cube. Look at all that damage. We've got our cube up to, or all that health. We've got our cube up to 20 health. I was able to cleanse the affliction. I was able to cleanse the poison. It's not taking any damage at all. And then now we got cube versus cube. It's the cube on the other side has higher health, but guess what? It has poison, and that ends up being a pretty big difference. You guys want to see what happens in Fatigue? We'll watch it as we go through here in Fatigue, and it was actually pretty cool that I was able to get a win against a higher level cube. So for those of you who aren't aware, I talked about going into Fatigue. What happens with Fatigue? It's kind of like the poison, except it ramps up. We're doing 4 damage. Next turn we do 5 damage. Next turn we do 6 damage. And it just keeps going and going and going until eventually it gets high enough that it's taking everybody out. So I didn't plan on watching this through Fatigue, but let's see it. Let's see it, because you can see I'm getting the double heal. Because I've got Kitty, I'm getting the double heal, and I'm not taking any poison damage. That made a big difference. My cube was able to survive. Theirs were not. So there you go. Hopefully that gives you guys a few ideas about what you should be looking out for with these poison sets, and kind of some strategies to watch for. So thank you guys so much. I appreciate it. Let me know what you think. Again, I went with the strat instead of laying out all of the things in like the different, I call them slideshow type things. It's all done in Photoshop, but it feels like a slideshow. Going in so you guys can see kind of some of the market prices. You can see the different stats on the characters. If you don't like that, be sure to let me know, but it seems like this is the format you guys like a little bit better. So I'm gonna keep going with that. And let me know if you like the rule set guides, because there's a lot of rule sets to go through. There's a lot of content here that I can do. And if it's something that you guys like, I'm gonna continue through these, and then we'll try to cover as many as possible. So thank you guys so much. I hope you enjoyed this. Let me know if you've got, everybody uses different strategies. It doesn't have to be just this. If you've got a different strategy that you like better, let us know in the comments. We can discuss that. There's certainly other options than what I'm showing, but these are kind of some of the main things that I like to look at. So thank you guys so much. I'll see you on the next one.